Good morning, everyone. I'm actually managed to be on time this morning. It was literally dead on 11 o'clock when the live video started on Facebook. So, for anybody watching, welcome. If you want to drop me a hashtag live, if you're watching me live this morning, or a hashtag replay if you're on replay. And if you have any questions during my video this morning, just drop them in the comments and I'll come back to you as soon as I can. If I can watch them, if I can answer them now, I will. Otherwise, I'll come back to you and let you know once I've been through what I'm doing today. So what I wanted to do a little bit of this morning was show through some of the, I guess, the time-saving features within the page builder tool from JoomShaper. Now you could call them time save and advanced, whatever you want to do, but there are a few areas of this that mean you can. Oh, morning, Ton. If I pronounce your name wrong, please let me know, and I'll correct myself next time I say it. Those of you who are familiar with Page Builder, it's literally a tool you can use within the Joomla platform to create page layouts and designs for pages, basically as you want, with very little knowledge on coding. Sometimes it's a bit useful, but you can do an awful lot without it. Now, within the Pro version, which is the one I use, there's a couple of features I'm going to talk about initially. So if you've got frequently on a website, you will probably have features and sections within a page design that you will reuse across multiple pages. And there's a couple of ways to address doing that without having to worry about actually redesigning each one again and again and again. So what I tend to do sometimes, if I've got two pages, one of them is one I've done and it's got some features on I want to reuse, I will actually open that in a new tab and I will open up my other page that I've already done in a second tab. So I've now got two page builder pages open in the back end. For all intents and purposes, I'm going to create a very simple layout here with 3 columns, and I'm just going to add some standard JoomShaper add-ons and image. I'm going to copy that image, move it over there, and in the middle, I don't know, pick something. I'm going to put in an image overlay just so that I've got them there. I'm going to save that on my home page now. So if I go back to my home page, there we go. There's my 3 little blocks that I've created there. So this could be literally any row, any style, whatever you want to do with it. And you, as well as we hopefully already know, you can duplicate that row and put another one below it, for example. So now I've got 2 identical rows there. I can also, on the little 3 dots there, I can copy that row. Now I could scroll down, for example, and again 3 dots and paste. So I've created it that way rather than duplicate the row with the duplicate row button. And again, I've now got 3 sets of those images. However, I can also copy, so 3 dots and copy row. I can copy between the 2 pages I've got open. So I can go to my test page and I can do paste row, and voila, save that one. That's actually pulled that through to the second tab. So if I go back to my home page and I go to my test one, yeah, there's the copied row pasted in and saved there, which is quite useful. That's something I use a lot now and again. If I've got to do things that are similar, I'll do it that way. The second one is a little bit more advanced because you can save a row as a section. So if I go to, let me get this right, I can save row with the little save disk icon, and this is going to call it something new. So I'm going to just call it example section, example custom section. You might want to name this specifically to what this section is about. I don't know, example testimonial slider or testimonial slider section or whatever. And I'm going to apply that. So now that doesn't change anything on this page. What it means is if I go back to my test page, I'm going to just delete that row now so it's gone. Yeah, delete. Okay, and save. So my test page now is empty, got nothing in it. So rather than copy and paste the row, now I can go to this one at the top that says add section, and this will open up all of the sections that JoomShaper provide for you, that you can literally click on these areas and drag and drop one in. But if you notice there, it's also got my sections. So now I've got my example custom section, and I can just hover over that. See how the cursor changes to the cross? I can hover over that and drag this into the page. And boom, there we go. Save that one, refresh my test page, and there's that section added into that row. Now I think where this is useful again is if you're using the same layout over and over again across multiple pages. And also if you've got clients that perhaps want to create their own pages, but you don't want to have to worry about them being able to copy and paste rows between other ones and save pages as duplicate names, you could literally create the bank of these row sections to match your design, and that client can then use those, the add section feature, and into the my sections, and just drag the ones they need in, and they can just simply edit those ones there, and they can play around with those without you having to worry about that client having to do anything to do with code changes, copy paste. Literally, they can just drag and drop their own page layouts in. So that's quite a nice little feature, that one, and it's certainly one I use more and more with web builds, because it saves a lot of time. Because generally speaking, I would tend to use a standardized similar layout across maybe a set of service pages. If the business I'm working for has got 7 different services they offer, and we've got a page design to go with the services page, we would reuse that page layout and just change the content to match the service, so that there's a bit of standardization going through. So that's that one. So again, a little bit of thought path into that one. But I mentioned there about the same page layout, so we can go a step further here if you wanted to. So if you've got, say, 5 pages to create which are the same layout, there's a couple of ways of doing this ones, I guess. You can either, this one gets a bit tricky. If you get this wrong, you've obviously renamed a page. If I open a page up I've already got, and I just put test 2 in there, I can do save as copy. And if I then close that down, in my page list I've now got test and test 2. So that's one way you could set up the test page, design it exactly how you need, save it, and then do save as copy 5 times, and then you can create the menu items to link to those 5 different pages as you need to, and change the content. The other alternative is if I go to my test page again, I can also export this page as a JSON file, and it literally just downloads that automatically in my browser. And I can now go to test 2, for example, and I can, in fact, what I'm going to do for the sake of demonstrating, I'm going to delete that row that I've added and save it. And then I'm going to import, and I'm going to go to my downloads folder and look for the latest download file there, which is that one from now at 10 past 11. I'm going to double click that one. Instantly, hopefully you can see that there, that's imported the whole page layout. If it was a complex page, it would all still be there. It would just literally add all the content in. And I can now save and close that one. And I've now, again, duplicated that test page very quickly without having to literally build it all from scratch each time through. So that's another little useful way. It's perhaps a way of being able to, I don't know, you can use those JSONs across multiple websites if you needed to. I'm not entirely sure. You would have to then upload the images into the right places. It doesn't drag the content with it. So that is literally the page structure of the rows and add-ons and columns. If you've used images and stuff within there, it will bring the text across, but it won't bring images across. So you'd need to add those images back into your media library in the right folders as well for those sites to be used, those images to be used in those pages. So there's a couple of little ways and bobs of doing that one, where you want to literally replicate sections within each page. The other one, I found the interactions feature on PageBuilder. This is, yeah, thanks, Tana. I don't think that's not something I've seen mentioned, but it seems to work fine for me. And you can do that. Literally, when I've got a couple of sites where there's a handful of pages where there's the same layout and the same content across each one, and I don't have to update each page one at a time. I can just do one, save, and then copy the row between them all. Now, I mentioned interactions there, but actually what I'm going to do is show you another little way of doing something similar, but maybe a bit more easily managed. So if you've got a section on a page that you want to update the content in fairly regularly, and that section is on multiple pages, then what you could do, excuse me, is create a module, a JoomShaper module. So I'm going to go to extensions and modules, and if I do new, I'm going to scroll down and I've got SP PageBuilder module type. I'm going to just call that JSPB module. Now I'm going to always, that should say at the top there, it won't, it should say show title. I'm going to hide the title of the row of the module. I'm not going to choose a position, and I'm going to set the module assignment to no pages, because at this blue I'm going to do this one. I don't want it to automatically show up anywhere. And I'm going to save that. And once I've saved that, I've now got a standard page builder editor here to work from. So I'm going to add a new row, and we're going to do something a bit different for the sake of it, so it's not obviously the same as the other one before. I'm going to just do a flip box, and I'm going to just 1, 2, 3 make a 4-row flip box, and for the sake of it I'm going to set the background, I don't know, color, and I'm going to go just a light grey. Save and close. So now we've got a JoomShaper module with 4 overlays on, and I'm going to add that now to my home page. I'm just going to get rid of that one, don't want that in. I'm going to clear the layouts completely, delete those rows, and now in this second row down I'm going to do add-on Joomla module, and I can select the JSPB module, and for the sake of it, because it's an add-on, I'm going to take all the margins out, so I don't want them. I want the margins in there from the row itself, the module itself. Tick and save. So if I load my home page again now, I should hopefully see, there we go, those 4 overlays there. Ignore the layout, they're just the standard ones that you get for build, and the grey background. And I'm also going to go onto my test page, and again I'm just going to delete that one, and again I'm going to do an add-on Joomla module, a JSPB module, and again take the margins out, and now my test page has got the same 4 overlays as the home page. However, if I want to update what's on those overlays now, I can edit the module, and this will actually then reflect. I'm interested. It should do, because I'm on PB 3.8, so we'll soon find out. I'm going to edit that module, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to just change the picture, I think, on one of them to this lovely man that comes as a standard JoomShaper picture. Apply. I'll do the same to that one. I'm going to use the lovely lady there, and tick save. So I'm not seeing that on mine there. I'm not seeing the module issue on any of those. If I reload the home page, now I've got those 2 photos have changed, and I haven't edited the page. And again on the test page, again exactly the same. I haven't had to edit that page to change the content. So if that module was on every single page of my website, it will be changed across them all just by me editing the module. Now I find this useful for the footer layout, for example. So quite often, if I close all this down and I go to the template, the standard Helix Ultimate template at the bottom has got in the layout, it's got, I nearly always leave the footer there, but you can take it out. It's got bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, and quite often I will create a footer with the module and place it at the bottom, whatever. So if I just change that to be a single 12.1 and it's called bottom 1 now, yeah, and I can save that. I can now create a module, and again it's going to be a page builder module. I'm going to call it footer hide, and I'm going to put it in the bottom 1 position, and I want it on all pages. So I'm going to save that now. So it's a Joomla 4 issue as opposed to a page builder one. Okie doke. I'll be honest, I've not tried that much with Joomla 4 yet at all. I've not really dabbled in it too much. I will be doing it, but I'm leaving it to settle for a while before I start touching it on production sites. So I've now got my footer module and I want it on all pages. I'm going to add a new row, and for the sake of it, for British, you can also add sections here still. So you can still access your own sections. I'm just going to put in, what should I put in? I don't know. I'm going to literally just make one up. Team carousel, save it at that point in time. So now at the bottom of the page, I've got that SAP module sits there all the time. I haven't styled it or anything, but if I go to the test page as well, again, that module is now at the footer of that one. So if I need to change the footer across the site with a custom one, because let's be honest, the standard JoomShaper one is you know, want 4 standard rows and columns and whatever I want to do with it. So now on every single page of that site, the footer is standardized, and I can literally edit that module to change the content, and it will update by default across them all. So I'm going to just take that out and I'll publish it for now. But yeah, that's a nice way to do the footers. Again, you can do that at footer level. So you could take out in the Helix settings, you could take out all of the text and anything else you've added in, set the footer to be a single 1. So at the moment, by default in Helix, certainly in Helix 2, Helix Ultimate 2 and 1, Helix Ultimate 1, the footer was in footer 1, footer 2. I could change that again to 12, and then I know when I do a module to go in the footer position, it'll let me use the full width. And if I go into basic and in the footer, I'm just going to take out all of that one. In fact, I can turn off copyright full stop and it's gone, and save it. So then my custom footer can sit in the footer as a JoomShaper module, and I can literally create any footer layout I want, mess with the layout for mobile tablet a lot easier than you can if you use the module positions. So yeah, I hope that was useful. That's a few ways of doing bits and bobs in there with the modules and JoomShaper and all sorts of things. I did have one question this week from somebody, actually came from last week, who mentioned that they had issues with the countdown timer not going. Now in Helix Ultimate, you can, if I remember where this is it in advanced? Basic? Coming soon. So in the basic settings in the coming soon, I can enable a coming soon display, and I can literally say when it's coming soon. I'm going to do 5th to the 12th. I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to save that one. So now if somebody visits the home page, hopefully because I'm logged in it will still work, you get coming soon. And it's a countdown. It will count down to the date and time that you put into there. Now, they said when they disabled that, it didn't go away. But I suspect it was to do with the cache issue. I think your Joomla setup, you had the cache enabled, and the cache was still had the old settings in for, it was remembering the countdown timer. I don't think it was anything to do, I've never had an issue with it going off. And to be aware of it, it doesn't automatically turn off. So even when the countdown is reached, it doesn't put the site live. You've still got to go in, unfortunately, and turn off the countdown timer. It'd be nice if it was automatic, so that you could literally say, once the countdown time is hit, put the site live. But it isn't as clever as that, unfortunately. It will just leave it with a 0000 coming soon, and it looks like it's stopped, and it has. So you have got to go back in the template and turn that off. If you have got a cache enabled, or you're using a caching tool like JSON Optimize, you will need to probably clear the cache once you've disabled that as well. Otherwise, it will remember that it will just show the cached page of the countdown and go from there. So for me this week, that's that one. I hope you found that useful. Fair few comments in there. Thanks for watching. If you found it useful and you know anybody else that you think might want to watch my stuff every week, by all means, pass them my way, send them a friend request and everything else. I also do upload these videos to YouTube, so I'll pop a YouTube link in the comments this afternoon with this video in, and again, drop a subscribe on there. It's going to grow up over time to add all these in, so it'll keep people in a nice central place to keep looking at what I've done in the past. So thank you for turning up, and I'll see you all next week. Bye bye.